It's that time again! It's the Berkey and the Badger Board Game Babble Show. It's gonna get wild. It's gonna get wacky. It might even get a little zany. We're gonna talk about board games and the board game industry. And, you know, we might talk about anything else we want to talk about.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to talk about all kinds of crazy stuff on the Berkey and Badger Show. Hey, Barry, how are you, my friend?
Oh, I'm very well, my good friend Berkey. What have you been up to, my dear chap?
Oh, man, I have been up to a crazy amount of stuff. We had some exciting stuff happen. We did at our house what is called Sausage Con. Sausage Con happens every year when we make about 200 pounds of old-style German sausage. Oh, yeah, baby. Another notch.
Another notch. Bam!
Yeah. This is actually a 5-generation recipe, and we make bratwurst, and we end up making smoked summer sausage. We have guys come on over, and all we do is eat sausage. I mean, nobody brings no chicken. No chicken, no salad, no it's all about sausage.
Best white meat ever.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So we did Sausage Con, and then we did something else. Let me show you a picture of this. We did Rib Fest. Ooh, here it comes. Here it comes.
Is that where you tickle people?
Yeah, in the ribs. Woohoo!
Look at that. Is that a genuine picture from the fest?
That's actually the ribs I made. Rib Fest is every year my son-in-law, or my son-in-law's father has a trucking company, and they have a safety meeting where they need to feed 50 hungry truckers. And they come to this meeting, and I made 27 racks of baby back ribs with my Burke's Happy Mouth spice and our homemade barbecue sauce, and these things are melt in your mouth. Happiness!
I want my baby back ribs. I want my baby back ribs. Get in my belly!
Baby
back. Very nice. If you're listening to this podcast, you're missing out on these wonderful images which are just making my mouth drool. And if you're listening to this podcast, you didn't know who that third voice is. Well, that third voice is calling from the German sausage himself. That's Mr. Ben Maddox.
Guten Abend.
Yes, he is German as German can be.
Hello, I'm from Germany, you know. It's a wonderful place full of bratwurst and songs about running up hills.
Like Kate Bush.
Yes.
Maddox and Burkhardt.
Hey, it's a real German name, isn't it, Burkhardt?
Oh, it's definitely German. It was actually kind of German-Russian. Yeah, very much. Well, our sausage recipe, actually, it's an old 5-generation recipe, and my grandfather's parents came from Germany area, actually part of the Ukraine, and they brought this recipe. And we've had people that have actually went over in the area and tasted some different sausages, and they go, "That's just like your sausage you guys make at home." So we did something right. Oh, I gotta tell you one really super fantastic thing. We apologized to everybody last week that we weren't able to get the show up, but we have a new addition to the Berkey household, and that's baby Philip Francis Wagner.
Wrong button.
Well, there's baby Philip. You can see my Billy Goat Gruff beard there with my head cut off, but that's the star of the show anyway, is baby Philip. My daughter Hannah, my oldest, this is our first grandchild. Healthy baby, 7 pounds, 7 ounces. Mama's doing well, baby's doing well, and we are very proud grandparents, so that's very exciting.
That's another chair at the table to play games with.
Oh, I gave him a pair of dice right off the bat and see if he could roll them, but...
and another mouth to eat all of those sausage.
Exactly. So what have you been up to, Barry?
I've been up to a lot of things, but I'm going to cut it right down as short as possible. Last week I did my my Board Game Club parody Ludic. We held a Sunday kind of event, an open door discovery event, and it went down pretty well. We did a little bit of publicity. I didn't want to do too much publicity because I was practically the only person that knew all the rules for every single game, and luckily could recite them in French. But we had a wonderful time. We met lots of new people. We met lots of people that we already know who came from like probably about 15 miles away, which is about 22 kilometers or something like that. And also this weekend, I've just come back from a festival in Reims. It's called the Festival de Jeux in Reims. Imaginative name, that. And again, it's the same kind of group of people. You meet the same faces. There were lots of games there. There was actually a couple of designers there. There was Remy Gruber from Rune Editions. There was a couple of smaller French designers there who were trying out their first games, and there was also Attila. I think that's the game company. They do they produce games. I'm gonna have to edit in some names of games that they actually produce with my voice.
Ominous Very, yes.
Yeah, yes. That's the one. So
Ominous Very is awesome.
Le Cochon d'Inde, was it?
Sorry, I missed that.
Le Cochon d'Inde. It's the only French I know.
Le Cochon d'Inde. le Cochon, the pig d'Inde, which is a deer or something like that.
Guinea pig. Yeah. It's guinea pig.
No, French. The only French that I know is Chief Inspector Clisset speaking.
It's for you, Mr. Cochon Resident speaking.
Does your dog bite?
That is not
my dog.
This is not my dog.
Let's just sit here all night and do Panther quote.
Yeah, this actually is a board game podcast, right?
Yeah. We've been
Badger's Board Game Babble, brought to you by Inspector Cluedo.
Yes, I know that. Chief Inspector Cluedo speaking.
That's a point. They've never released a Cluedo version of the Pink Panther. That would be great.
I'd love it.
Or am I alone?
It would have one major flaw. It would have one major flaw, though.
Yeah.
It would be Cluedo, wouldn't it? That would be the flaw that I would level at it. The Cluedo nip.
Yeah, but the object of the game is to deliberately lose by winning.
Oh, yes.
Does that make sense?
I would do it.
Because Cluedo always
win by losing.
Yeah, Cluedo always catches the criminal, but like Inspector Gadget, he always catches the villain, but it's not him that catches the villain. He's doing a holiday, but they catch the villain somehow. I don't know.
It must be done with bubbling. We must bubble our way into it.
Yes, let's bubble on.
All right. Hey, let's go to the news. Things that make you go,
Let me add an image. Music. There we go.
Well, I've got something. I'll start out because my iPad's ready to die on me, and I've got it pulled up here. Okay.
Well, is he on the edge of the windowsill, and he's going to go, I can't take all these board games. Download a game for me. Download Ticket to Ride. All right, I'm jumping.
2%. Okay. This is something that made me go home. Stonemaier Games have come out, are announcing a game called Charterstone, a legacy game from Stonemaier, a village building legacy game. We all know Stonemaier. This is a game actually designed by Jamie Stegmaier. It talks a little bit about it. This is kind of a real pre-buzz thing. It looks like it might come out at the end of, or in 2017. It might be on Kickstarter at the end of 2016, as they're saying. But a lot of people, the thing that made me go, was there was some talk about Tuscany being a legacy-style Euro game, and this is what this game is being, touted as. However, I don't really consider Tuscany myself a legacy game. It's more of a progression in the game. How do you feel about that, or did that make you wonder what's happening with this, with legacy feel?
Well, firstly, it makes me very angry.
Angry.
Because I am an artist, which means I have no money, and he's doing this, and I'm going to have to back it, which means I'm going to have to spend my poorly earned money on this game.
Exactly.
But I think you know, he said Tuscany was legacy style, and quite frankly, you could take any of the expansions and put them in at any point. But I'm sure this one, from what I've heard, is much more of the drawing on the board, ripping up the cards, simply not being able to go back from a certain point, which Tuscany absolutely isn't. You can play the straight viticulture even if you've played with all the expansions. So I'm sure this is much more sort of pure legacy in that sense, as opposed to what Tuscany was.
Yeah. It could be. I'm really interested. I mean, that's like you said, Ben. Every time Jamie comes out with something, I'm in. I just have a great deal of respect for what he does in the community, how he produces product, and I'm interested to see how he pulls this off, and if this will be a new innovation in legacy, which is being talked about so much. So. Okay.
Yeah, I can guess that he's probably going to bring out some new kind of resources box for it, which you have to either eat because they look like sweets, or burn as coal, real coal. It's actually real coal, and you have to burn it to make the game work.
Yeah, and then once it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. He could do that with his treasure chest. Some of them could be actually edible candy, but you have to try each one to find out.
There must be a slow connection here. I just said. sorry, Berkey. That didn't mean to rain on your parade. I just said that.
If you get the real collector's edition, you see, it costs $10,000 because it's real little bars of uranium that you use.
Oh. Yes.
This is the bars, anyway. This is what I've heard on the internet.
Yeah, and the reason that it's not replayable is every time you touch these uranium, your fingers start disintegrating, so you have less and less, fingers, and eventually you'll have to, have a hook.
You just have green stubs left over.
Yeah. Okay, so that's...
So, Stonemaier, I want you to refute these claims. If you don't refute these claims within the next 2 hours, it's all true.
Yes, refute.
Okay.
What's making you go, Barry? I'll be right back.
You shoot off, and you're going to miss this really, really important piece of information, which I'm going to tell you about. No, but anywho, I don't know what I did. I was on Board Game Geek the other day, and I was flicking some buttons on my profile, and I managed to click something, and it gave me a different look. Here is what looks like a new look Board Game Geek site, and this made me go, Yeah, so all of the games are like that, but the main page is like normal for some reason. So if I click on something like this, you'll see it's all nicely laid out, and I am very impressed, and I can't wait for this to be on everything. So the thing that made me go, is this wonderful Board Game Geek new look. So obviously, if you're watching this video, you can see this wonderful Board Game Geek new look, but if you're listening to the podcast, that's what to say.
Hey, I had that same thought when I saw those pages. I thought, I really like the design of the page. I wish they'd get the front end of the site now looking like that, because it was so much easier to navigate, I thought.
Yeah, I think it's still in beta. I think I clicked something. We said, "Do you want to test the beta option?" And so I did that. And
Beta?
Yeah, no, not Peta.
Peta.
Yes.
It's very tasty. But the thing is, when I first got into gaming, I logged on to this site, and this site, I mean, Board Game Geek is absolutely, firstly, comprehensive and absolutely spectacular as a forum, but wow, is it cumbersome to use. I mean, it's proper sort of from the early 90s, And
right.
it was one of those things I thought, if I ever win the lottery and I win 25 million, I'll just give them $100,000 and say, do something with your website. It would just make my life a lot easier, And I'm sure there are loads of people going, oh no, the usability is completely different. But if you look at it, it's much better now. It's much more practical and it's easier to use, and it's not from, 1898, the wild frontiers of the internet.
That's right. Well, you know, if you win the lottery, you can send 100 grand my way, and I'll update my website.
You can send me a copy of the new Stonemaier game, and we'll call it quits.
Yes, that is not a binding contract. That is not a binding verbal contract, but yes, I will.
Oh, that's awesome.
Anything been making you go, then, Ben?
Yes, and it's a hoary old thing that people have been talking about for the last 6 months, but there's been a new little wrinkle put into it, which interests me, and I'd quite like to know your thoughts on it, because it stems back to the whole Asmodee Fantasy Flight, more expensive for internet retailers and so on and so on. But Yellow have introduced this new thing. Ooh. And what they're doing is they're not increasing the prices for internet retailers, but what they're doing is releasing their games to brick and mortar stores early. I think it's a month or something like this, and they release them early, so the hope is that, you know, the real junkies will have to go out there and get the game as soon as possible, and so they'll run there and they'll go to the brick and mortar stores, and then later on it'll have a full release to the internet. And because of the controversy surrounding that Asmodee upping the prices thing, because no one likes to spend money, I just wondered if you thought I just wondered if you thought this was a more amicable solution to the whole getting people into shops debate.
Yeah, I think it is a more amicable solution to get people into shops, because this hobby now has, like, devoted freaks. Sorry, I shouldn't use that word. I'll have to edit that word out. But it has these devoted people who...
Let your freak flag fly, man. Let your freak flag fly.
Yeah, you know, it doesn't... If the game is by a certain designer, you've got to buy it. I've got a friend who just buys lots of games because he's heard they're good. And then the week later, he sells them to his friends because they aren't that good. But this is perfect.
Is your friend called... Sorry to interrupt. I just wondered, is your friend called Darry Bublet, by any chance?
No, he's not.
Darry Bublet. With
no, it's not me. Yeah, it's not me. I have a good, restraint on my wallet. Well, my wife has a good restraint on my wallet. But, for my friends, or for people that have this kind of urge to buy a game first day it comes out, I think it's great because they are going to the brick and mortar store and they are buying it from them instead of buying it for like €5 cheaper online and getting it, a week after it's released because it takes a while to go through. And I think it's a great idea, and I think it's better than having cheaper and expensive. It's globalized, but it's just the release date, much like content for an Xbox, which comes out before the PlayStation.
I love it too. I think it's fantastic, and I think that's really where so it didn't come off as quite as much of a negative as it did with the Asmodee, by companies offering the brick and mortar extra incentives like a pre-release, also maybe extra models or something that's exclusive for a engaged play event or something of that nature. That would facilitate people coming into the game store. That when they come into the game store, they're going to see other fun stuff that the game store has. If they're doing their job in marketing, they get an opportunity to upsell people. Hey, have you seen these dice? Or, do you see what I got over here? Or do you want a cup of coffee? I mean, there's all kinds of opportunity if you can get them in the store. So you give them this extra incentive. I think that's a far better way than the way I saw Asmodee's approach.
And I think Yellow, they also give out promos as well when games come out. You buy the game and you get an extra card or something. So that's one thing.
If you feel like a company is trying to stiff you, whether they are or not, but if you feel like they're trying to stiff you, it's going to make you annoyed. Whereas I don't think there's any even committed, I have to have it the minute it comes out guy who would begrudge the shops getting it a couple of weeks, a month early. I think everyone would go, okay, fair enough. I might have to get in the car and go down to the shop and pick it up, but it's the idea that, they're going to overcharge me, and they're going to cut down, they're going to stop my favorite internet retailer selling their games. Because I've got a friend of mine who's an internet retailer, and he's not a big, evil megalomaniac who's trying to take over the world. He's a guy who... he does laugh like that, though, ironically.
He has an evil beard as well.
But he's a guy who sells games out of his bedroom, and he's just a one-man show, but he just happens because of the... It's beautiful. Because of the, the low overheads of dealing on the internet, he sells on the internet. And internet retailers aren't evil. They just happen to have a business model which allows them to sell cheaper,
But now under the Asmodee model, they have to declare whether they are a brick-and-mortar store or whether or not they are an internet dealer. And so if you have a brick-and-mortar store that also supplements their income by offering their products to people in a region or on the internet, obviously, they're no longer allowed to do that. So it feels really constrictive, and there's a negative feeling to that. And I think public perception has been overall negative on it. Whereas doing what Yellow's doing, it feels very positive and almost feels like an incentive and kind of makes you happy.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm more inclined, so when I go to Essen, for instance, I'll definitely go to the Yellow booth and have a look and, possibly throw some money their way just because they seem a bit friendlier, less sort of megalomaniacal.
Yep.
Big words,
That's
Ben.
good
Big
point.
words.
Thank you.
He's
Thank
smart.
you. Thank you.
I'm not smart.
I just got
Hey,
thesaurus.com up on the computer.
Yeah, I've pulled it up. A couple other quick things. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this because you'll be able to look it up yourself. But the Dice Tower award nominations are out, so you can go to thedicetower.com and you can actually see all the games that are announced there. The only thing that makes me go about it is the amount of different awards that have just recently come out. You've got the Golden Geeks, the Origin Awards were just recently, nominations were put out. Gamma had some things, and now the Dice Tower. Personally, I've looked at a lot of these different ones. You've got the Spiel, obviously, as well coming up. The Dice Tower Awards, from my understanding, is about 70 contributors. I was one of them that actually got to put my 2 cents in, so that doesn't mean anything. That's worth 1 cent. But anyway, it's a group of people that are all over the world, and I think when I see what's actually happening there, it's not cliquey at all. It's not just a certain game group that likes a certain type of games. I think it's a fairly broad grouping of players, even though it's a small number. But I love these awards, and I love the categories. So that's what makes me go, compared to other awards that are out there. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think the Dice Tower, because they're not sort of shadowy men. Spiel des Jahres, who knows who the Spiel des Jahres guys are? Who knows?
They're those megalomaniac maniacal ones.
But for the Dice Tower Awards, you kind of know who the people are. There are some designers, there are some just, hardcore gamers, there are industry types, and it seems to me a great cross-section of the gaming community. And so I like the idea that they're not to public vote, but it's just like people who are ostensibly experts in the community in different areas coming together and awarding these games awards. It gives them heft and it gives them gravitas, I think.
Yeah. What do you think, Perry?
I don't know.
Okay. We don't care what you think.
No, don't worry about what I think. I mean, the awards are, different circles of people have different. You go to different gaming groups, and they will have their own favourites. I mean, you go to one gaming group, and Seven Wonders is the game that they play all the time. You go to another gaming group, and it's something else. So it's the same for the award ceremony. I mean, there's not always going to be one game which dominates them all, because there are so many games now. I mean, before, yes, there were, it was Settlers Catan or it was Alhambra, but nowadays where there's so many different awards going and so many different circles of players, every award's going to be slightly different.
But it's interesting because I think, sorry, Bucky, but I think Codenames is just going to dominate everything this year, isn't it? I mean, Codenames is a watershed game. We're around seeing a game that everybody loves. I have not heard one person say Codenames isn't great. And that's hardcore gamers, kids, family gamers, people who don't play games. Everybody loves it. I think Codenames is one of those big leviathans that's going to come out of the sea and consume us all.
Oh, I agree. And now with the expansions coming out for it, Plus, it fits a variety of categories in these nominations. You're seeing it nominated in all that. Let me ask you both a question. Start. Stove. So, you guys are European, obviously, here, so tell me how you think the...
Well, until July, of course.
You're who?
Until July.
Then where are you
going? That's a
going?
politics joke.
Oh.
We're having a referendum to see if we're going to remain part of the EU, you see.
Oh, yes, of course.
Okay, we're down to 6 viewers now. Just killed 10.
Well, question for you. How do you view the awards that you're seeing coming out of the United States versus awards that are more European-centric? You know, the Spiel and that type of thing, Kinderspiel and Kennerspiel. Do you think the type of games are being influenced by geographical region, the awards, or do you think overall gameplay of the actual games? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, I think there's one clear thing about the Spiel des Jahres, is that an FFG game isn't ever going to win it. It's just not going to win it. And while I think the Spiel des Jahres is great because of the... I mean, I live in Germany, and like a week after the Spiel des Jahres, you see the game that won on billboards in the city, in undergrounds. Great thing for attracting people in, but they're very limited in scope. An Ameritrashy game, I mean, the closest, I guess, is Fields of Andor that won the Kennerspiel a couple of years ago. But that's really a Euro game, you know. I mean, you're never going to get an Ameritrashy game winning the Spiel des Jahres. And the thing about the American awards is they seem to be broader. They seem to have more categories, obviously, but they're broader, more inclusive, and so they allow games from all over to the chance to win, you know.
Yeah, we'd like to award this award for the best box size to... Yeah, the Americans come up with awards for everything, you know. And the largest game piece goes to...
That's awesome. Okay, last thing on the things that go, my good friend Lance Myxter, the Undead Viking, has recently been
resurrected?
Acquired. Well, yeah, he's no longer dead. Yeah, no, he's actually taken a position with Tasty Minstrel Games. They brought us such fantastic games like Orleans and others, and Bottle Cap Vikings. Yeah, that was one of their great ones. And Lance, I've had the opportunity to meet him over the last year, game with him on several occasions, go to separate conventions with him as well. He actually came to our home and filmed Blood Rage with us. Gotten the opportunity to meet this guy, and this guy's just a gem of a man. He's this big, imposing, figure, but he's just this big teddy bear, and he has such a passion for this hobby. And he is extremely thoughtful, I've noticed in many occasions. And anyway, I just think that his skill set and leaving the corporate world, as an executive in IT for, I think it's Bank of America, and now making this jump into the board game hobby that he loves so much and moving into a marketing type of role with them is just fantastic. I think Tasty Minstrel's really moving up the charts, and they're acquiring some people can really help them get that exposure out there.
Yeah. Congratulations, Lance.
Well done. It's living the dream, though, isn't it? I mean, I guess kind of everyone wants to. I mean, not me, because I don't have a normal workaday life. But, I mean, people who have normal workaday lives, they want to. I mean, this hobby inspires, I guess, like most hobbies, but it inspires incredible passion and dedication and determination. And getting to work for a company is living the dream, and more power to him, I say.
Yeah, so what company would snap you up?
Me?
Yeah. Because I think Looney Labs would snap me up for Flux.
Yeah. I would say Wizards of the Coast, because I look like an orc. And I could stand outside of their booth and hit people with a rubber axe.
They're probably arcane wonders for Berkey there, because they're adding him into every single game that they bring out at the moment. So.
Well,
that's right.
You are like the master of segues, sir.
Am I?
Yes, you are, because we was just going to talk about that we have a giveaway, and the giveaway is with this fantastic game called Onitama. Onitama. This is a fantastic abstract game. It plays in 15 minutes. It's got a ton of variability, 17 cards, but only 5 of these cards are dealt out, and each player gets 2 of these cards. You're trying to take the opponent's master or go to their temple, and you have 1 common card. When you play your card, you grab the common card, and that just keeps going until one of you is the winner. The production of this game is fantastic.
Yeah, it looks
it comes. Oh, have you seen it online at all?
Yeah.
This here is the neoprene mat that comes rolled up in this fantastic box. It's just beautiful. The art, the pawns and so forth are really, really wonderfully made. You can see these here on the screen. Nice large tarot-sized cards. They've got really nice little flavor text on them. And it comes in this fantastic box with a magnetic clip, easy to transport and so forth. But anyway, we are going to extend our contest on Onitama. There's a reason for it. We're going to extend the contest till May 13th, where you can get a chance to win this. You can go to BoardGameTheater.com or BoardGamesEverybodyShould.com. And you'll get a chance to go into our Rafflecopter app, and you'll get up to 5 chances to win. But wait, there's more.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. You'll get a set of German steel knives. No, that's not right. I'm going to show you something.
German sausage.
We will mail it internationally.
Risque pictures of Berkey and Badger.
Of Berkey and Badger. Boy, that would be something.
Saucy, but not over the top.
Not over the top. Okay, here's a picture. The reason we're extending it, tomorrow, Board Game Theater will be launching the Onitama Board Game Theater episode. It's a mini episode that's going to last about 9-10 minutes. And this here shows a good old samurai with the board game Onitama. So we are going to give you an opportunity. If you watch the video, and there's going to be a hidden thing in the video that we're going to ask one simple question. If you watch the video, you're going to get 2 extra chances to win the game Onitama. So look forward to that on BoardGameTheater.com or our YouTube channel or Facebook page. So that's about all there is with that announcement.
Okay, moving right along.
We do want to mention one other thing, too. I meant to mention earlier, is that if you don't have the opportunity to watch the YouTube site, you can catch the Berkey and Badger show on our iTunes or Stitcher Radio. And I just wanted to give Barry a little bit of kudos here. Barry does a pro audio edit. We record the audio here that we're filming live, and then he takes and adds sound effects, really polishes it up. And Barry, you are doing a fantastic. I listened to a couple episodes, and man, you're smoking. It's really entertaining and really well done job.
Whew, I wonder what the smell was. I thought it was the onions I had.
Stop smoking. It's a terrible habit.
I know.
Really unhealthy.
Little roll-ups.
So with all of that, we're going to go into our good, the not so bad, and the ugly.
No picture. No picture. No picture. How about that one?
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, dearie me. Okay, our good, the bad, and the ugly segment is basically a kind of review, demi-review of games that we played for the first time, and kind of like a, first impressions. And our theme for this show is long life, which we'll get to a bit later. And for that reason, that's why we have the good as Leonard. It is Leonard and Sheldon. Sorry. I watch it in French, and Leonard's called Leonor. It's really strange. I don't know. But anywho, here we have Sheldon, and he's all good. This is the review that we give a game if we, after the first time we play it, we think it's really good, it really beams. And here we have Sheldon saying Spock beats Lizard with his Vulcan grip.
Good, I guess.
Yeah, which is good. Yeah, live long and prosper. We're back to Star Trek.
Barry, I had a really hard time getting these memes, deciding which one was good, not so bad, and ugly, because they were all kind of good. Hopefully the formatting will work on this next picture, but go ahead and show that.
Okay, the formatting doesn't work on this picture. You're going to have to read it out. Here we have, and not so bad, is a game that we've played, and it wasn't so bad. We'd play it again if there was no other better game around. So here we have an image of. Can you read it? Because I can't.
This is a lady. Let me see if I can open it. Her name is Frances, and this gal lived to 122 years old.
Wow.
The interesting thing that I found about this, it's loading right now, so we'll see here if it'll come up shortly. But she is from France.
Donc, her name is Françoise, not Frances.
France. Okay, Françoise. No, her name is Jean-Louise Clement.
Ah.
And so Frances, Jean, same thing, right?
Right.
Okay. She was born in 1875 in Arras, France, and she lived to be 122 years old.
Wow.
When we're talking about long life in games, I thought that was appropriate and kind of interesting, being that you're from France.
Yeah, I was thinking that you'd get like a bottle of long life milk or something like that, or maybe a vampire that has a long life. But,
that would have been a good one. I thought about putting The Simpsons on there, but I started looking up long-lasting TV shows. One of the long-lasting ones is NFL Monday Night Football.
I was going to
Coronation Street.
Coronation Street, yeah. Cross English.
Guiding Light. There was a whole bunch of soap operas on there.
That's for the British viewers there.
Yeah. And one for the Americans.
Coronation Street.
The one for the Americans is probably Cheers.
No, it's like a bunch of soap operas, like The Guiding Light and As the World Turns, and they've been on for like 46 years. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So I decided not to do that.
Okay. And moving on to our ugly is a show which has been running for like.
That's very rough years. On Leonard Nimoy.
Well, I put him as ugly because he says something. What does he say?
May the force be with you, or something like that. I forget. Yeah.
Okay. That was ugly.
Yeah, so we'll give a game a rating of ugly if we play it, and after that play we don't want to play it again because it just has no replayability. There you go. Link into the show.
Replayability.
Okay, I will kick off with the first game because I have the screen loaded and I've lost it. There it is, and then I have to go screen share, and I'll edit this out of the audio podcast with my magic fingers. That hurt the back. I shouldn't have done that. But anyway, the first game. Sorry, I missed that.
Doesn't matter. I was talking about you, not to you.
Okay, that's all right. I'll clean that up in the edit. The first game this weekend, I got to play a game from Yellow, who make friendly games. This game is called Happy Pig, and in Happy Pig, each player has a little prairie, and they have some pigs, and on their turn, they have to play a tile which tells them what action they're going to do, and there'd be a card for each round which says if you feed pigs, you have 8 actions. If you let the pigs have love to each other, that's how you have to explain it to little children. It's 4 times with each other. And so each turn you're playing a tile at the same time, and then you divide the actions between yourself, and it's the player with the most money at the end of the game wins.
Ooh.
Very, very short abbreviation there. What do you think I think of that game?
Wow. Pigs having love.
Yes.
This
very, very happy pigs.
I'll see if I can find a picture.
Very happy pigs.
I'll see if I can find a picture. There is a very interesting picture in the game.
Don't put that picture up on the internet, Barry.
Okay.
People don't need to see very happy pigs.
We want sad pigs.
Okay.
Okay, Barry, I don't know. You didn't give me much to go on there, so I don't really have a clue, except I know you like these games. I'm going to say good.
Okay. And Ben, what do you think I think?
Yeah, I think this is right up your alley. I think you love the idea of animal husbandry in a game. So I'm going for also Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory.
Okay.
Oh, no.
It was, in fact, ugly.
Ugly?
Really?
Yes. I started playing this with my daughter, and we had another young chap join us, and it seemed like a good idea. The game plays for a year, and you have 4 cards for each season, and each card would say, as I said, it'll say if you feed your pigs, you can do it 6 times. If you have the love with the pigs. Sorry, I'm talking like my daughter. She says that. You know the song from Austin Powers? Dun, 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 dun. No, I can't even remember it now.
Love with the pigs.
Yeah, she says. The words are make love to me, make a cup of tea, but she says make their love to me. And it's like really strange. She can't say it. But the pigs are making their love. It does 8 times. Well, you do that, and after spring's finished, there's the summer, and then you do it again. And this game, it's an interesting game. You're just buying pigs, buying medicine for them, and making them grow, and then making more babies, and then selling them and get more money. But after a while, when it gets after spring, the game becomes really boring because these event cards are really boring. You know, they give you a kind of bonus at the end of the card, but it's repetitive. The player who has the most largest pigs gets 3 vaccines free. Then you get that card again. It's like, oh, dearie me. And then autumn comes, and it's like, is this game not finished yet? And it just dragged. I mean, it is aimed for children, so I think children will adore it. But my daughter was even bored of it as well. She just wanted to go and play something else. So it's cute. It's a very simple game. You only got 4 actions you can choose from at each time, but it sucked for me. It sucked professionally. It was terrible. I was bored.
Sounds like a real oinker.
Yeah.
Hey.
It's a swine of a game, I tell you.
It's a swine. Swine down here.
Yeah. So
it should stay on the shelf.
Yeah. Yeah. And as I said, there's one tile. And it has a pig on top of another pig, and that's the make love to me. And it's for children, but it had that picture, and I was like, no, didn't work. Sorry, Happy Pig from Yellow Games.
You're too happy, pigs. Stop being so happy in front of children.
Yeah, and fat happy pigs. Stop being in front.
But the good news is that it comes to your local game store a month before it hits online retailers.
Yeah, there you go.
That's right. So you can avoid buying it at the game store for a month before it hits the internet.
Yeah.
Hey, Ben, what have you been playing?
So my game is the new sort of hotness, Burgle Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Robin spoke about this when he came on the show.
No.
That's right.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
We're not telling you what he said.
No.
Well, whatever I say is better than what he said, I'm sure.
Definitely. I can vouch for that. Whoops.
Yes, we're looking at you, Lees.
Yes. I've just lost my free copy of Beyond Baker Street now. Oh.
That was a fun show when we had him on, though. That was really a good time.
Yeah.
Hey! You can't go off with another woman when your new girlfriend's in the room.
Well, we gotta
you can't go back to your old girlfriend. That's not acceptable.
I was
on here now.
I was online 4 hours after the show with Robin. I was chatting to him for 4 hours after we finished the show, so it was like 3 o'clock in the morning here. And I was like, me and Robin just having this
like a chat. Yeah.
He does.
So Ben, what have you been playing?
You just asked me. I just told you.
Yeah, I mean, tell us about Burgle Brothers.
Oh, do you do the rating thing first, or Burgle Brothers is a heist game in which you cooperatively try to steal things from a big office building, and you have to escape off the roof in a helicopter and to your mysterious villain hideout at the end.
Yes, I think.
Okay, Barry, he said that way more exciting than
Robin does. Yeah,
Robin does. I get Jason and Robin.
Robin's got a very he's got a very flat voice, and so it's very hard to read him when he's being funny or when he's being serious. I find.
But that was very dramatic. Well done, Ben.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to say that Ben thinks this game is good. Give it a Spock beats Lizard.
Oh, absolutely. The way he was saying it, the enthusiasm, I could hear it. I want to play poker with this guy because I think I can read him.
Yep, well, clearly my disingenuousness shone through because...
Oh, no.
Oh, dear. We got it wrong.
Oh, no.
Well, I didn't think it was... I didn't go all the way to ugly, but it was... what's the middle one?
Not so bad.
Not so bad.
It's a game in which you're doing these things and it's beautiful. The box is this building. It's in the shape of the building you're trying to rob, and it's beautifully designed, and all the art is fantastic, and the dice are transparent and very tactile, and you want to pick them up and throw them, and it's a co-op game, and fundamentally it's too easy.
Ooh.
I played it 3 times, and I won every time. And
wow.
For a co-op, that's not good enough. No, I mean,
no.
When you play a co-op, you need to lose the first 10 times you play, because as soon as you've beaten a co-op, it loses a sheen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this game, and it's all very thematic, and you kind of feel like what you're doing, but the fundamental issue is there's no tension to it. It's all just like, oh, and I'll do this. Oh, yeah, and you do that. Okay, and then we'll do this. And then we'll do this. And we've won. Brilliant. Yeah. Can we go and do something? Can I go and drink some beer now? Because that's more fun.
There's no way to change the level of difficulty in the game, no?
Well, it wasn't my game, so I haven't read the rules.
Okay.
And I don't think so particularly. I don't think there's particularly any way to adjust it. And as I say, it's beautiful. And the guy is a one-man show, and he only sells from his website, and his production is stellar. And he was the guy who did Paperback as well. Mm-hmm. And this is a man who knows his way around the game mechanic. He knows you could see by playing Burgle Brothers that he knows what he's doing. But Burgle Brothers just wasn't tight enough, and it was too easy for my tastes.
Okay.
Have you played that, Barry?
No, I haven't. No, so it's one to look out for. I think the idea seems really good, and it sounds like a game that I programmed on my ZX Spectrum when I was very, very young. So I'll be intrigued to see how it come out.
Huh. Yeah, well, very good. Well, I've been playing something. We had tabletop day at our house here, where we had 8 guys come over, so we played a ton of games. So I'm going to go through one that I probably played the most, and I talked to several people. And you guessed it. Here it is.
Burgle Brothers.
Just Onitama. Onitama. There it is, Onitama.
In your pajamas.
They're very nice and dashing, aren't they?
They are indeed.
And I'm not going to tell you boxers or briefs.
Uh-huh.
Because I go all natural.
I'm imagining.
If you're watching the video, look out for drool and spittle all over the screen.
Well, here's Onitama. I gave a little brief whatever I was talking about it. I talked about this game. Yeah, extermination. No. Explanation of the game. Can you see that?
You look like the evil master from Doctor Who. That's why I said exterminate. Extermination. But anyway, explanation, yes.
So, what do you think I think? And then we'll talk about it.
Yeah, I'm going to say good. I'm not going to be about the bush. You think it's good.
Yeah. Well, considering that you seem to be in the pocket of arcane wonders, and the Sheriff of Nottingham could absolutely not say anything other than the guy from Big Bang. Surely. That's good for the listeners.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you're right. I'm not in the pocket of arcane wonders, but I do really like some of the games they're doing, I gotta say. Onitama, we had the opportunity last year to play it at Gen Con. My son and I played it. It was a different, production value than they have now. It took them some time to bring it to market, but it's one of the Dice Tower essentials, and this is a game that Tom Vasel is getting behind. When we played it, I went, oh my goodness, I could play this a lot, and it's so quick, it's so accessible. I taught it to 4 different people, and we played that game, and one guy says, this is my kind of game. I love this kind of game. Where did you get this? And there was another game called The Duke, I think was Duke by Catalyst, or by Catalyst?
Catalyst.
Good game, good. It wasn't Gale Force 9, right? It's Catalyst Labs? For the Duke?
No, it was Catalyst Games Labs, yeah.
Okay, Catalyst. Yeah. Highly regarded game, but I was hearing some discussions about Onitama versus that. I think the Dukes of Dice recently were talking about it, and they all agreed that Onitama really just takes it to another level with variability, with the component quality, the overall feel of the game, the accessibility. I taught this game in 2-3 minutes to people, and they knew how to play the game. It took them a while to gather the strategy because there's really good strategy. But you don't agonize. You can sit and play the game 15 minutes and let's do it again. I love that.
So?
This is really interesting. Oh, no, so he hasn't done it. He hasn't said, has he? Sorry, carry on.
Oh, yeah, absolutely good. Yes, I said good. Sheldon, oh yeah. Live long and prosper. Spock beats lizard.
You see, I'm not very intelligent, right? So I absolutely, normal circumstances, detest abstract games because that requires some sort of cognition that I'm not capable of doing. But it's the sort of 10-minute thing, and also being able to choose different strategies, and you can change your direction halfway through, and all that seems really appealing. And I'd definitely like to give Onitama a go.
Oh, I just think it's a lot of fun. When you get a chance to watch a board game theater, you're going to see the gameplay, very simple instructions, but something that really helps you win the game is having a sake strategy, which involves sake.
That's giving the other player loads of sake before you play.
You must have watched the edit.
Okay.
Super fun.
Is that Board Game Theatre with the famous Robert Boxford?
Yeah, it's with Bob Boxford. Yeah, yes. Yes, that's my son Josiah who plays that character, Bob Boxford.
Wonderful English accent, I have to say.
Well, thank you. I will let him know that and say he must listen to the show.
Please do.
Well, we're going to go to our next segment. We've got our special guest, Ben Maddox, here. And Ben, we want to, before we go into the what game is behind the door, we just would love to have you talk about us. Talk about us.
We'll talk about us. Berkey and Badger, how can one describe such beautiful men?
One with hair, one without.
I don't know, but try. No, tell us about yourself. Tell us what you're doing in the industry and about the hobby, whatever you want to talk about here a little bit, and then we'll go to our what game is behind the door.
Yeah, so I'm an actor who lives in Berlin, and so At the moment, I'm currently resting between jobs, and as the weather's just warmed up, it's absolutely fantastic. I get to sit in the park all day and read and wait for my agent to call me. So then I can go to an audition and not get a part. It's a wonderful job. Become an actor, believe me, it's fantastic. But within the industry, I do a podcast. It's called the Perfect Information Podcast. And it's me and a friend of mine who's Greek, but you wouldn't know it. His English is absolutely fantastic. And basically what we do is we talk about a subject, and that can range from, the trivial to the profound. And then we review a game, and then we have a couple of contributors. So we have T.C. Petty III, who's a game designer of Viva Java Dice, and Xenon Profiteer, all fabulous games. And he contributes a sort of game design section where he gives advice to potential designers on how to pitch, how to iterate, all of these sorts of great things. And then we have Nick Mariner, who's an academic and sort of general expositor on the theories of games, and he talks about certain topics within the gaming industry and how they apply to him. And we think it's a pretty good show. There's occasionally a bit of salty language, and
occasionally.
And occasionally we mention your good co-host Barry Dublé, but only in the most glowing and complimentary of terms. And the show comes out. Absolutely. And the show comes out, we have a full show every other week on a Monday, and then we have what we call our small slices of perfection, which are different things. So I write about my experiences in the hobby. Georgios, who's my co-host, critiques games. Then we sometimes have interviews. The last interview we had was Chris Kirkman from Dice Hate Me, came on and talked about developing games as opposed to designing, the role of the developer as opposed to the designer in games. And it's a thoroughly informative, sweary, drunken delight of a podcast, and I recommend everyone subscribe and be appalled.
Yeah, and go to their guild and drink a pint there with Ben, Georgios, and what's her face behind the bar?
Janine, my girl.
Yes,
Janine.
Yes. Whatever you do, don't pay her extra.
And you can go you can go right to infoperfected.com.
Infoperfected.com. There's a wonderful, George just put a wonderful article up today, actually, on his first impression of the board game world, Star Wars Rebellion, and it's a really, really good read. I highly recommend you.
I haven't listened to it.
Give it a read.
Yeah.
No, this is a written article. This is a genuine, written, typed-up article.
I've got to read it. Oh.
Yeah. But he's sort of uploaded pictures of scantily clad women to keep you.
Oh, okay. Keep you motivated. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. We shall get on with this 3-part quiz show. We're going to quiz Ben about the games that he likes and has got and would like. So our first question to him is going to be, what was the last game that he purchased? And we're going to be doing this in like a 20-question style, but we're only going to have 5 questions each. And for each question we asked, Ben has to respond with either yes, no, or a bit of both, please, love.
So we each get 5 questions and then get to guess.
Yeah.
This is the game that you last purchased.
Indeed.
Okay.
All right. What game did you last purchase? That's my question.
It's yes and no questions, Kevin.
Oh, no.
Yes is the answer to that. If there's a board game called Yes, then you've just guessed it.
Let's go and look on Board Game Geek, shall we? Is there a game called Yes?
Okay, I'm going to ask the question, is this a worker placement game?
Ooh. Well, that's a hard one. It could be said.
Oh, come on.
It could be said, so it's in the middle.
You shouldn't, don't tell him that he can say whatever, it's like, say yes or no, so.
It's not the trouble. Okay, it's not the primary mechanic, so no.
But it's involved. That's what you're saying. There is worker placement.
Okay.
I'm digging. Okay, kind of worker placement.
Kind of worker placement. Okay. Does this game come in a normal size Ticket to Ride style box?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so that eliminates all the mini veal. That eliminates. I'm gonna pass for now.
Yeah, I'll pass to. Let's see. Was the game produced in 2016?
No.
Or 2015? 2015, excuse me.
Ooh, crikey! Hang on, give me 2 seconds. I don't know. I'm going on Board Game Geek. Going to find the date. It's my. I always sing this song when I log on to Board Game Geek.
Ah.
I'm going on the Board Game Geek. I'm going to find the date. And I won't be late on the Board Game Geek. And Board Game Geek are free to use that song if they wish for advertising purposes. I won't charge them royalties.
Hey, they need a jingle.
Hang on a minute. Indeed. My internet's being very slow. Give me 2 seconds. Vamp. Somebody vamp.
Vamp, 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 vamp. Come on, vamp.
I got board games coming out of my closet, and I can't decide which one to play, 'cause the dice don't decide. It's electrifying.
That's an incredible rewrite of that song. So what was the question again, Kevin?
Was the game born, like birthed and born, like pushed out? No. Was it
expelled?
Was it beautifully exposed in 2015?
And the answer is no.
No.
According to Board Game Geek.
Wow.
You should have generalized that a bit more. You should have said from 2015 onwards.
Well, he already blew it. He did the classic blunder and said no in 2016. So it's not 2015. So we can reasonably deduct that I can clearly choose the Y not in front of me. Okay.
It's the classic blunder of you asking me a question and me answering it, you see.
Oh, right.
And second most is never go to war with a Sicilian.
Indeed.
When death is on the line.
I've lost.
Well, thankfully, I was born with an immunity to iocane powder, so
He understood.
I would be fine.
2014 game. Okay, I'm going to take a guess here. But he just recently got it. Carson City Big Box.
Nope.
It's not quite Ticket to Ride, but okay, I've just thrown it out there.
Okay. Is this game about producing something? That's probably a really stupid question. Most games are about producing something, like producing a city or producing a dragon.
Yes, I would say yes.
Okay.
It's about producing something.
I'm going to pass.
Is this a European publisher?
Yes. Though you might disagree with me later, but yes, it is.
Okay.
Okay, that's helpful. Thanks for the extra information.
No problem.
Is it Village?
No. No, it isn't.
See, Stronghold Games feel, the cooperation of Stronghold Games and My Village and Village and.
Could have been there could be a connection to something that's already been mentioned in the show.
Dun dun dun. Happy Pigs.
Ooh,
it's got to be yellow then, because they have a branch in France and a branch in America. Okay. Okay.
Ride-size box.
Yeah. Okay. You're producing something. Okay. Okay. Is this game for... Does this game have a gaming element which consists of bluffing?
No.
Okay.
No bluffing at all.
Does this game have a war theme?
Nope.
It wouldn't be a family game then, would it?
Indeed. Referring to the last show.
Yes.
European publisher. It wouldn't be Royals. European version.
Nope.
Yeah.
Although I'll give you a help. It is a one-word title.
Not Rococo.
Nope.
Okay.
Okay, we have each one more question.
I believe so.
Okay. Okay. Really need to come up with some better questions to narrow this down.
We kind of went off track here.
We have done indeed. Okay. Does this game have red on the box cover? No. It's not. It's got worker placement, but it's not the primary thing. Is this game by Vlada Chvátil?
It isn't.
Ah, I went for. I don't know why I thought. Yeah, I know why I thought of that. Okay, no, it's not Vlad. Jeez.
Yeah, I was going to say that actually. I was going to, but I don't think it was 2014.
I'm gonna pass again.
Dang. So is it a primarily a Euro game?
Oh, absolutely, to the core.
Yeah, Ben's a bit of a Euro fan.
Okay. But he said it had a correlation. He gave us a clue, a correlation. So he could have been talking about Arcane Wonders. He could have been talking about Yellow.
Mm-hmm.
He could have been talking about. I'm trying to look into his eyes deeply, but his eyes are looking somewhere else. There they are. That was scary.
Is there anybody online got a clue? No. No clues coming through at the moment. I'm going to cheat and look at Yellow. And I'm going to say Alchemist.
Alchemists?
Alchemist. Sorry, I'm speaking French.
You are 100% incorrect, my love.
My love.
Oh, dearie me. Oh, let's do the old.
Don't we get a phrase on this one, Barry?
Have you had a guess?
No, I haven't got a guess on that. But don't we get a phrase too?
Yeah, we can chuck in a phrase if Ben's got a phrase.
Yeah, I can. I went to the new version, and it was just Jazz and Jack Daniels.
He's so clever.
He is. Right, let's not invite him on the next show.
Brewmasters.
Nope.
No, man. Oh.
Okay, you got us.
No, you got us.
What is it?
What was the last game you purchased?
You should know this, Barry. It was Orléans.
Ah!
Yes, I should have
known
known
that. We talked about
that.
Tasty Minstrel with Lance Myxter.
Okay.
And I've listened to every single podcast you've done, and I didn't twig.
But that's not.
No,
that's not,
I haven't mentioned it. I haven't mentioned it because I played.
You played?
I played it with Robin Lees, who we mentioned. He had the deluxe edition. And it's one of those games, I played it and I just thought, I'm in love with this. I need to buy it. And so I bought it, and I played it on Tabletop Day, and it's just a fabulous game. It's really, really meaty, but simple, and if you're into Euros, Orléans is an absolute gem.
Okay.
And
I didn't classify that as a Ticket to Ride box, so.
No.
First he said standard box, and it is the standard box for a Eurogame, in my defense.
Well, it probably is, actually. You look at those styles. I threw Carson City out there and then go, hold it, that's not a box. That's in that Euro size box, yeah.
Yeah, you threw me.
That's why I was agonizing over the worker placement thing, because you do put the guys down on the board, but the main mechanic is really that bag building thing, deck building with the guys.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
it's a fantastic game. We have it here too, and our whole game group just loves it. I got the Chateau Orléans insert from Meeple Realty too for it that just puts everything in its place. It really makes it easy to set up. Really cool.
Cool. Okay. So the first question Ben purchased was the first question he purchased, maybe the first game he purchased, was Orléans.
That's right.
And now we're going to ask him what game he is most excited about getting. And for you YouTube viewers, you'll be able to see Ben draw a picture, and he'll hold it up on the screen. And for you YouTube non-watchers who are listening to the podcast, we will describe that image to you. So Ben has 2 minutes, and Berkey and I will babble while he draws.
He's a picture man.
Vamp. Vamp, vamp.
Yes.
He's a picture man. He's a great picture man.
Hey, Mr. Picturing Man, picture a picture for me. I don't know. It's going to be another Euro game. I think it's going to be another Euro game.
Are you trying to characterize me, Doublé?
No, I'm trying to psychologically brainwash you into
revealing.
I am truly the worst artist in the world. Hang on.
You mute.
Pink bonk, pink bonk. Okay, I'm done.
That's all right. You didn't see what's his name from Rolling Dice.
Marty.
Yeah, I still wet myself watching that bit.
That was pretty funny.
That was hilarious. Anyway, let's Ben hold your picture up if you're done, and I will let the world see your picture.
That's the beginning.
Ben's art is the best.
Is best.
Okay, yeah.
And then that's my picture.
It's got to be scythe.
It's scythe.
Because it looks like a scythe.
It's like a sickle, yeah.
Yeah.
German. Thank you, all the people.
Well, there was
did pretty well.
There was the explanation there for you podcast listeners. It's a scythe.
I drew a scythe.
Well done, well done.
But see, because I backed this on Kickstarter, and Jamie released the other week an unboxing video, and I was just like, because I played it at Essen side last year, and it's a fabulous game. I can lose to all of my friends. It's going to be fabulous.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah, sorry, did we lost
Hello?
Steve? He's there. Okay, sorry.
You there? Yeah, you kind of blugged out of there a little bit.
But it doesn't matter.
Just me. It was just me wibbling on, so you've not missed anything. It's fine.
Okay.
But anyway, you think this is a fantastic game. Super excited about it.
Oh my god! And it's that whole Stonemaier Games thing, you see, because it's great games, but also, and I try to be all serious, and I shouldn't care about this sort of stuff, but the bits are so beautiful too. It's so tactile. I played Viticulture the other week, and just those little wooden buildings that you build and all of that, it's just so pleasurable and enjoyable. Yeah. You feel like you're in the Dordogne.
And when you look at the artwork of this game. It's the Polish artist, I believe his name is Rabisky or something.
Yeah,
the
Jakob
artwork
something,
is
yeah.
unbelievable. I mean, they got a whole
absolutely.
book that comes with the Kickstarter. You can watch this. I mean, the scenes and it's fantastic. And then you see the character cards where you've got the leader with the Siberian tiger, and then these mechanical units and the miniatures look off the hook. It looks pretty exciting. I backed it as well.
This beautiful first picture that was released, and it was just the people working in the field, and you just saw sort of in the mist in the background these big steampunk walkers walking across the field, and it was just so evocative and so exciting. And I think he probably got 70% of the backers on the basis of that picture alone. It just looked absolutely glorious.
You take a game like, and this is kind of an off-topic thing, but you take a game like Concordia, which I think is a fantastic game, but then you see that cover where the artwork didn't do anything for it. But I mean, if you can mesh quality, like you say, evocative artwork that really attracts the attention, and then put good quality mechanics behind it, so there's a real game and a story, which I'm sure Jamie will have done. I'm excited too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who publishes it, but someone should really get hold of Castles of Burgundy and tart that game up, give it a spruce up, because it's a wonderful game, but my God, is it boring to look at. Really,
that's a Leia Ravensburg production. And
that's right, Ravensburg, yeah.
I reckon they should do the same for Twister as well. Get it really spruced up, and I think more people will play, even though it's 50 years old today. So I reckon there should be a 50th anniversary. But anyhow, let's move on. Question number 3 for Ben is, what is your current favorite game? The game you dream of, the game you take to bed with you, the game that you just love and just love preaching about. And then with this question, Ben's going to give us 5 one-word clues, and we have to devine, that's French, divine,
discern,
divine, the star of Pink Flamingos.
What
the great
this
Carnos
game is.
That was a Johnny Carson reference. I know.
Look into my eye.
I'm a grandpa.
You're bewitching me, Barry. You're bewitching me.
That was my Alien reference. But anyway, take it away, Ben. Your first one-word clue.
My first word clue is history.
Okay. Patch history?
No. That's in the title. I thought that was against the rules.
Oh, yeah.
It is against the rules.
I did not write the rules. For the record.
History. Current favorite. So it's got to be a Euro game.
It could be Star Wars Risk.
It was in a galaxy a long, long time ago, so that would make sense.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll just throw out Francis Drake.
Nope.
Okay. Second word.
Journey.
I've got an idea.
Go on.
The Voyages of Marco Polo.
Close, but no Cuban today.
No potato, what you're going to say. I'm going to say Takedo.
Nope, neither.
Okay.
Boy, we're getting close. Okay.
Word.
Now, this is cheating a little bit. There's a hyphen, right? There's a hyphen in between.
That's the one.
Hyphen. A hyphen.
All encompassing.
All encompassing.
This is ringing bells.
Oh, no. You wouldn't be talking about 504, would you?
No.
What's that got to do with history? Oh,
journey. Well, there's something historical in there. There's a journey from one game to the next. I don't know.
Oh, from one half page to the next.
Okay, it was a stupid guess.
There are 504 reasons why that guess was wrong.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now, all-encompassing, I'm presuming, is it's historic content. It doesn't just include like one part of the historic story. It includes all of it. So, you know, you could say it's something like Twilight. I'm going to go Twilight Struggle.
No.
Ooh, Journey though, Journey.
Yes, Journey. Sorry, I don't know. I've never played Twilight Struggle. I'm just thinking of something which doesn't just include like the election, but it includes everything else around the election. Or okay. Clue number 4.
All right, number 4.
Hammurabi.
How'd you spell that? Ham and panned rice.
Hammurabi, huh? Hammurabi. Oh my goodness. Journey.
That's very obvious if you're a cognoscenti.
Kevin, do you know what that is?
I don't know what he's talking about. What land does he come from?
He's from Germany.
Oh.
I'm from England, but I live in Germany.
Stop.
Germany.
Harfrin. What is Hammurabi? Hammurabi.
Hammurabi. He had laws. It's Indian, I think, isn't it? Hammurabi, is he Indian?
I haven't got a clue. I'm too scared to do a Google search, and just in case I do come up with Hammurabi, please.
Yeah, he's got laws. There's a card that had Hammurabi. Is it Clash of Cultures?
Oh, you're so close, Kevin, but no, unfortunately not.
Ah!
I remember this card now.
I am gonna have to say no. I have no clue. I'm gonna wait for the next one.
Oh, I know what it is. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, give us another clue, but I think I know.
Check.
Checks in the mail. Like I said in my last Wake's wife. Checks in the mail.
Well, that doesn't make any sense to what I was thinking. Check.
He's throwing you a curveball.
Think of the spelling of check. It might not be the meaning you think.
Oh, like CHCK or CHCH?
There's another spelling.
Czech Republic.
Don't
do that. You make my mouth water. Czech Games. What's Age of Empires?
Is that your final guess?
No.
I get one, but that can be his guess.
I'm going to verify if it is that game.
Well, that's not Czech though. No, it's. I know what it is. It's a civilization game, and I want to say it's Through the Ages.
Ages.
Boom.
That's Czech and Eagle Griffin and Czech have it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Vlada Chvátil.
Yeah, I thought it would be.
And Hammurabi is one of the leaders you can buy, and he's a very famous leader amongst the Through the Ages people because he's very good. What are you trying to imply by that, Barry?
Well, this wasn't. Isn't this game rated number 2 or 4 on Board Game Geek all time?
Well, there's 2 versions now because I've got the new version. The original is rated high. The new one is rated high too, but not as high.
I see. The new version, though, is supposed to be really excellently produced, right?
Oh, it's gorgeous. I bought it at Essen last year, and I played it this weekend on Tabletop Day, and it took us 9 hours, and it is huge and sprawling and punishing and challenging and glorious and exhilarating. It weaves all of these spectacular stories, and you can have the juxtaposition of having Julius Caesar and then replacing him with Mahatma Gandhi and all of these fabulous things. And if there's one criticism I would have of the game is that you do all of your actions on your turn in one go, so towards the end people's turns can end up taking a long time. But if you've got the patience, this game is just engrossing and glorious and frustrating, and everything that a great Civilization game should be.
Wow, well said. All encompassing. Yeah, very well said. Well, let's move on into the Babble topic, long life. Babble.
The speaker's switched off.
Babble, babble, Berkey and Bat.
They haven't got a long life.
Game Babble.
We're in the Babble. Tell us about the topic today, Barry.
The topic is long life, and talking about long life quickly before we go into it is we've been doing this for a year now, Berkey. 1 year.
In fact, I was going to talk to you about that, Barry. Next show, when we get on, we need to do an anniversary show. 1 year anniversary, Berkey and Badger Board Game Babble Nonsense show.
Okay, if we can align our calendars. It might be a 1 year, 1 month, 3 days, and 10 hours kind of anniversary show. But anywho,
the stars are already aligned.
Yeah.
Berkey and Badger, they align naturally.
Starring your favorite guest, Robin Lees.
Well, I was going to say Ben Maddox, but okay.
Well, I managed to kick him out of the bed.
Yes!
Take that, Robin.
Okay.
Well, anyway,
long
our
life.
Babble topic. Tell
Long
us.
life. I love this. Long life. Good games never fade
Long live
away.
the Queen. Long live the King.
Where Freddie Mercury's gone. Sorry.
Thank you.
But thank you very much.
Thank you.
That King. Okay.
Thank you.
What was I watching? You're making me lose my focus. I was watching.
What?
Anyway, I won't talk about Fargo.
Did he write that song about a mouse, Elvis?
Yeah, he had the blue suede shoes.
I'm caught in a trap. That was him, wasn't it? About that mouse who couldn't escape.
You've played a board game. I'm caught in a trap. I've just rolled a 4.
Yeah.
That's a blooper and a half. Ellie, long life. Good games.
Long life.
The 6-hour remix. Good games never fade away. They get replayed over and over again. So what gives a game a long life? This is where we're going to talk about what we think makes a game replayable. What gives it that staying power in our collection? Okay, is it the theme that makes us keep this game in our collection? Is it the mechanics? Is it the designer? Is it the fact that the designer wrote his name on the box for you? You know, it's probably true for you with Vlada Shevada there, Ben. You'll keep all his games.
This I lost my copy of Codenames recently. I can't find it, and that was signed by Vlada, and I don't know where it is. It's in the house somewhere, but I don't know where it is.
Somebody typed it. They broke into your house and typed it.
Possible.
They knew your password. Password code names.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, so what for you guys makes a game replayable? Is it the theme? Let's start there.
Well, if I were recently, Chaz Marler from Paradise has been talking about a topic about what makes a great game to him, and he's got 5 categories, and he just talked about theme as being the second most important thing. For me, theme is very important. So if I'm going to play it a lot, I'm going to want to have some theme. But theme is not the most important to me.
Sure.
Yeah. So theme would help me want to play it more if it's a theme. Like Blood Rage is a game that has very thematic for me. I love the Vikings theme. I love the feeling of that universe when we are there. But the game mechanics really make it shine with the drafting for me. Yeah. So I love that drafting element and trying to employ different strategies. But for me, I would say theme, no, but I would have to say variability so that I get a different feel every time I play the game, that I don't feel like I'm playing the exact same game. That's what makes it for me, and Blood Rage fits that category. I feel like I've played it 11, 12 times now, and I'm excited to play it again because I always feel like I'm going to have a different game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think I think theme is something that attracts you, the initial attraction. It gets you in through the door. You know.
Yeah, like a blonde.
Exactly. Like every time I see a golden Labrador, I end up going into people's houses. It's terrible. But
as long as you don't go to the second stage, which is sniffing behinds, that's okay.
Been there, done that, served the sentence.
Yeah.
But I think after the theme has sort of faded away, you need something more. Because there are loads. Blood Rage is an example. There are loads of Viking games, but I think most of them won't have the staying power because they're just not as good games. And sometimes that can be, completely undiscoverable. What is it about that particular thing? But sometimes it's just very simple. The game is rigorous. It's well designed. It allows for variation, but skill also plays a factor. And you don't ever want to feel cheated by a game. You don't want to come out of it thinking, I played the best there and I didn't win. That's not... You're going to feel bad about that game and then you're not going to come back to it. The theme is... theme makes you buy the ticket, I would say.
All right, so it invites you in the door and then it's afterwards if you want to marry it or if you want to sleep with its sister. Or
exactly.
Like that. Yeah. Okay.
Take it for a walk.
So
one thing I was listening to the Dukes of Dice, and Sean makes this comment. Sean Ramirez. I've been able to play several games with him, and I love playing games with the guy. He's really sharp, really thoughtful in rules explanation. But one of the things that he keeps mentioning when he's doing his reviews is talks about this concept of when he plays a game, sometimes he can feel clever, like he made a clever move. So if you're putting together a combination or something, and all of a sudden you have those moments where you go, oh, if I do this, I'm going to be able to do this, and it makes you feel clever if you can pull it off, and there's a tension that happens.
Mm-hmm. So if there's variety in the amount of actions and how you combine those actions together, that makes it replayable.
Wonderful thing when you think, I've got it. I just hope the rest of the players allow me to do it. And you sit there thinking, just don't get in my way. Don't get in my way. And then eventually when you get to do it, you're like, bing, bang, bing, bang, bing. Look at me. You're all stupid. I'm amazing. And then you stand up and do a dance. At least I do.
That's exactly how I feel when I play Splendor. And that was another thing that I wanted to draw a comparison with. Is Splendor reminds me of playing Space Invaders on the computer, whereas something like Viticulture reminds me of playing Skyrim. They're two different games. Skyrim has this infinite universe. You can do anything you want, when you want, as anyone you want, whereas Space Invaders is the same thing over and over again. But both of these games are replayable for me, and I can't figure out why one game that is the same thing over and over again is just as enjoyable as a game where I can do anything I want and do things differently every time. And that's my comparisons. Splendor and, what did I say? Viticulture. I meant to say Arkham Horror, not
Skyrim.
Yeah. But in the game board world, Skyrim would be Arkham Horror or something like that.
Well, I kind of wonder, too, about replayability. When we think about that, it has a lot to do with your gaming groups. If I'm with my family and I game every other week, I go up to my two daughters' houses and their husbands, and we play board games. When I'm home with my immediate family, and particularly with my wife and daughter, we're going to play a weight-of game that is going to be to their liking. Those are generally the family weight Spiel des Jahres type of weight games, Ticket to Ride, Stockpile, that type of game weight. Whereas when I'm playing with my gaming group, they're going to want to do a little bit more heavier strategic games, and they're going to want to have Orleans, and they're going to want Viticulture, and they're going to want Power Grid, and things of that nature that you can delve a little deep in. So replayability in the family weight games I think, is even a little higher because it's a broader audience.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's that wonderful thing about replayability. The thing is, it's not confined to weight, is it? You can have heavy games that have a very sort of prescribed mode of play, and you play them 2 or 3 times, and you go, oh, I know how to do this now. Or you can have something like Hearts, which has been played for I don't know how long. I mean, decades minimum. You know.
That's a good point.
And so it's not something confined necessarily to the weight of the game, but it's the. I often find. So it's a great game that was one of the first games I bought when I got into the hobby. And I still play it to this day because it's a game that has incredible emergent gameplay. And most of the game operates above the table, not on the table. And that's City of Horror. And City of Horror is such a funny game, but it's also a game that it's the best zombie game out there, because what it does is the zombies are purely there to motivate the action. All the action happens between the players, which if you ever watch a zombie movie, it's not about zombies. It's about people's reaction to the zombie.
Mm-hmm.
And that sort of motive, it's me against the rest and into the zombies the next second. And every game is different, and how people are feeling. If their girlfriends just having a row with them, just wonderful stuff that happens above the table. And if you don't own City of Horror, go and buy it.
Yes. So, yeah, I own City of Horror. I still haven't played it. It's one of my games that I've got it out and had a test run with the family, and they didn't get it. But I mean, how does that compare to Dead of Winter in regards to playability? Because I mean, it sounds like the same thing, doesn't it?
It's much better. It's funnier. It's lighter. Dead of Winter's fine, but City of Horror is much more efficient and lighter, and it relies on the players to get out there and really negotiate and all of this sort of stuff. And I think if you're talking about evoking themes and you're talking about the experience being different every time, City of Horror kicks Dead of Winter into the grass, I would say.
Yeah, and so it's a case of the gaming group that makes the game more replayable. Maybe like Time's Up. Again, it's replayable because it's funny, but you need to do it with a different group every time, so to say. What am I saying?
Yeah. But if you own City of Horror, Barry, take it to your game group when you go. Mm-hmm. It's a rollicking good time.
Yeah, okay, I will do it. It's sat underneath Last Night on Earth at the moment, so need to.
Well, I think one thing too that might play into replayability would be the thought of accessibility. How easy is the game to teach?
Yeah.
If you can teach it quickly and people can grasp the rules, does that make it more replayable?
For me, I would say no, because there are games that I teach all the time, but the thing is I don't want to play them. It's just a case that I teach them because I know it would fall in with that group of people and it would get them playing and have an experience. Whereas the games that I want to replay again and again and again, like Splendor or like Viticulture or like Sheriff of Nottingham, is because there's something there which just makes you want to do it again and do it better. And as Ben was saying, you want to do it better and you want to have this secret move which is going to outwit the other players and you just laugh in their face. Again, for my wife, what makes a game replayable for her, in my opinion, is the fact that she wins. And because she wins at a game, she'll want to play it again. And as soon as she loses, that game goes on the shelf. It happened with Ticket to Ride. It happened with Alchemist. It's happening with New York at the moment, 1901. And it's like, I want to play it again, but she doesn't because she lost the last time we played.
How about components?
I don't think that makes a game. For me, no, it doesn't enter into it.
It definitely enters for me. Go ahead, Ben.
I think you can't deny the big thing in analog gaming is the tactility of it. You're literally touching things with your hands, And whether you register it or not, I think it is an issue. You know, this is why viticulture, part of the reason viticulture, and I love it, and while it's so replayable, and I try and play it at least once a fortnight, and I've owned it now for a year, you know, is those bits are so tactile and glorious to play, and the art is so wonderful, and it invites you in. And that bit where you get the wine and you put it on the number and it magnifies the number up so you can see it easier. It's just that synthesis of design, components, and gameplay that make the game so inviting, and it gives you a real generous experience. You open that box and it's generous. The components are beautiful, and yeah, that definitely contributes for me. Much as I hate to admit it.
Well, for me, and I just freely admit it. But Blood Rage, you know, we pulled out and we had the Mountain Troll from the Kickstarter. So it's kind of an exclusive piece that we hadn't played with before. But when we pulled him out and he did his thing, it was just the coolest thing. And we're talking about him. So it added to that playability of what he was going to do. And then I got the Wolf Man, you know, and his ability was really remarkable, and just seeing them on the board and moving them and making the sounds that you make when you get involved in a game. I just think that's a lot of fun. So it really makes it replayable for me in that regard. But
fundamentally, replayability comes down to experience. Was the experience you had with the game invigorating, exciting, and fun? And, you know, having a big mountain troll and going, I troll your face. Yeah. Those memories come back, and you think, I want to play that again because I want to troll everybody's faces these days. You know what I mean? Absolutely. It's about the experience you have with the game. If it's invigorating and enjoyable and fun, you want to come back again and again and again.
So immersion.
I think that is immersion, experience, and I think from what I'm hearing, too, I think we would all agree that game mechanics are very important to that experience. Game mechanics that are well thought out, they're designed right, it causes us to come back and not play the same game, plays with different player counts, so we can play it with 3 or 4, sometimes 5 people, and still have that experience because it's designed right, and the mechanics match up to the theme, so forth.
You could have a game that is mechanically rigorous and good, that will be replayable, but I don't think you can have a game that has all the bling and all the, you know, the chrome, and is terribly designed that you'll ever come back to again.
You're right.
One can exist without the other, and I think that then proves that the one is more important than the other.
But
I think you're right.
Explain why everyone's got Star Wars Monopoly. That's got the chrome and the bling and the...
We buy it to have it. We don't buy it to play it.
Yeah.
Very true.
I have it. It's like that pimple that won't go away.
But if it's on your back, you don't notice it.
Exactly.
Until someone slaps you on the back, and then you're in trouble.
Star Wars Monopoly.
What's that trickling down my back? Yeah, go back to components. For me, games like The Great Dalmuti, which is just a card game, are instantly replayable. It's just like a family favorite. Whenever we meet up, it just comes out, hits the table, and we have a good laugh playing it. It's a simple card game, but I don't know, it emotes a pleasure, I think, is the right way to explain it. Instead of emoting getting this immersion from the game, there's no immersion in the game. It's just immersion in the group of people sat around the table playing this game. And I think maybe that's the most important part about replayability, is having this immersion with the other players and having this experience which gets you to come back and go, this game is good because of this group of people.
I think there's a fundamental misinterpretation with immersion. People conflate immersion to being engrossed in a story. So they say time stories is very immersive because there's a story. No, immersion It's being engrossed in the experience that you're doing at that moment. You can be engrossed in a bike ride. You can be engrossed in exercise. You can be immersed in those things. And that's what immersion is. And if the game is compelling, even if it's not telling you a sort of standard linear narrative, you're still immersed in the experience of playing the game. You know?
Well, and I think memory has something to do with these experiences.
For sure.
And this. You know, I think of, Nothing Personal is one of my favorite games, and the experience that we had with Tom Vassell playing that game at Gen Con, and then subsequently every year at my birthday, this is the game our family would get together, and whoever gets the capo ring, in order to get favor from the capo, we've add this, that you have to kiss the capo's ring. So the components are there and are stellarly
Mysteriously,
done.
everyone gets Novo virus 2 days later, but it's a very enjoyable game.
Yeah, exactly. It's family then. What do I say? It's family. So,
that was terrible.
But that memory of these experiences we've had over and over with that particular game, mechanics are good, components are good, theme is good. But the memory of those experiences makes it really exciting for me to think about the next time we get to play it. So it makes it very, very playable.
Because you think, all I want to do is create more of those fantastic memories, and this game is not only a gateway into the past, but it's also an investment in memories for the future.
Yeah, it becomes a catalyst for that experience.
For sure.
Wow, all these big words.
Ben is helping me step up my game.
Yeah, I'm scared now. I might have to leave this show.
Open thesaurus.com and let's get going.
How'd you spell that?
Thapilorus.
It's
like a word dinosaur.
Theophilus Peabody.
Exactly.
Well, long life, I think longevity in gaming too. I think the games that we consider Grail games, or I don't know if Grail is the right term, but the classics, those games that have withstood the test of time and still hold up today. I know sometimes people in the hobby, we have moved on from Catan, for instance, Settlers of Catan and the different variants, but the truth is I still like that game. I've had wonderful experiences. I don't mind bring it out anytime.
Yeah.
El Grande.
Dominion. Nobody's agreeing with me. Silence.
One of the first games I played when I first got into the hobby, and I played it with my gamer friends and my non-gamer friends, and every time it's just fantastic. It's Libertalia. Because
I love that game.
That game is so easy. You play a card, you resolve a card. It's so easy, but it has, firstly, that layer of strategy. Okay, what's beneficial to me? But also, because you know, or think you know, everyone else's cards, it's also, but what are they going to play? And can I beat them, or can I prevent them from killing me? And you have this double think and this backwards and forwards, and that game is very, very simple, but incredibly deep, because it leverages player interaction so well. And again, it allows replayability because it's different every time.
Okay.
Yeah. But there again, the same characteristics. Fantastic design. You've got great components and artwork. When we talk about components, artwork adds to this experience too.
Mm-hmm.
It's got all those characteristics that we've been talking about.
Yeah.
And I've got a strong obsession. Code names, though. I mean, that goes to prove that mechanics fundamentally win out, don't they? Because it's not winning any art awards. But I've played that. I must have played that game 50 times since it came out.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there you go. But I think about mechanics, though, and we're talking about gaming experience and immersion. I remember playing the first game at Dice Tower Con with Josh, the U.S. rep for Czech Games, and he had little crappy pieces of paper and a box that had something stuck on it as a prototype that said code names. And I thought, oh God, we're going to get stuck playing this game. I didn't know who he was at the time, and that it was Czech Games and Bottle Shavaddle at the time. But once we played it, everybody just went nuts, and before you know it, it was this little piece of crappy cardboard and paper that he brought out was the hit of the con. That's what everybody was talking about, and we all had those experiences. So mechanics, experience, that's what made it replayable.
We've absolutely witnessed the birth of an evergreen classic in Codenames, I think.
Oh, for sure.
You might argue that the last one was Dominion, and I think Codenames is the latest one to come out.
So, are we going to see Munchkin Codenames? And
yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Simpsons Codenames.
Simpsons Codenames. Oh no.
Star Trek Codenames. Star Wars Codenames.
Oh no. Game of Thrones Codenames.
No, that's X-rated though.
Wolfenstein.
Particular shops to buy that one.
Yeah. Okay, so let's wrap this up by saying, if each of us just says if they were a designer, which element they would add to their game to make it replayable, and why.
You made it just a long, hard question now.
I just did. Yes, sorry. I'd made up my mind what my answer was, and I said, okay, how can I get a question around that?
Well, go to the smart one first, and then I copy whatever he says.
Right, okay. So, where's the smart one? Oh no, sorry. Sorry, it's me.
Well, let's say that the verbally eloquent one can speak now.
Or the one with the big mouth. So, I would say, I think one thing I would add, and this is a really vague answer that kind of doesn't mean anything, but mechanical rigorousness. Make sure the game is solid, it's unbreakable, but it has crunchy decision points, and it rewards skill without being punishing. Because fundamentally, when you come back to a game because you enjoyed it, not because it kicked you around.
Mm-hmm. Are you going to agree with that, Berkey?
I agree with it, but I have something to add that's very intelligent. You'll listen to this. This is intelligence coming.
Drum roll, please.
My game would be designed to be very thematically, mechanically rigorous, and fully immersive with great components to encompass a fantastic experience. Ta-da!
You've summed it up. You've summed it up, Berkey.
You just included every single aspect about gaming into one phrase.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Ah, dearie me.
Barry?
I'm just going to say, I would add to my game lots of player interaction, because I think it's the players at the table that make a game replayable. It's not the fact that it has different versions or different extensions that you can add to it, or it's not the components. It's mechanically the interaction between the players that it generates. And I think that's what always brings us back to the table, as you were saying with City of Horror, as you've said with Codenames. These are the games, and again, the Great Damuti, Uno even, is just a game that doesn't have anything, it just has this interaction, and that's what brings me back to the table and playing it again, and that's what I would inject into any game that I designed.
Indeed.
Yeah, very well said. Well, I tell you, Ben, thanks so much. It's such a pleasure to get to meet you here first time and listen to your thoughts.
Wonderful.
Thank you for taking the time and doing this. This was fantastic. Really enjoyed it.
Absolutely.
Tell us again where... Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, again, congratulations on the grandchild, and be thankful that it's not you that's waking up 5 times a night to feed it.
Exactly. And then once we can watch them, we can give them back, right?
Yeah. Age does have some compensations.
No, it's been a pleasure. Tell us where people can get a hold of you again, Ben.
Okay, so you can go onto iTunes and Stitcher and all your well-regarded podcast things and search for the Perfect Information Podcast. You can go to our website, which is I'm brilliant. I can't do it. Infoperfected.com.
Take 2.
You can follow us on our Twitter, which is @InfoPerfected, or my own personal Twitter, which is a lot more sweary, and that's at Benisace, BENISACE. Be there, a quadrilateral.
Benisace. Fantastic. Wow, thanks a lot. Hey, thanks, guys. I know our show's gotten a little bit long here, so we're going to wrap it up, but we want to remind you about our Onitama contest. So you can go to boardgametheater.com, or you can go to boardgameseverybodyshould.com, and you can get a chance to win a copy of Onitama. You'll see it on Board Game Theater as an episode here within the next day. In addition to that, you have 2 extra chances to win by watching the Board Game Theater episode, so we hope you enjoy that. And you can also join us on the Board Game Guild number 2248. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear your thoughts about replayability. What makes a game replayable to you? That kind of thing. If you want to disagree with anything that we have to say, please go to the guild, disagree with us. We'll ignore what you have to say, and it'll be fantastic. The standing joke. No, we'd love to hear from you, seriously. We'd love to have some interaction from folks on the guild. This last episode that we did, we had Susanna actually came on the guild, and we were talking about retheming in gaming, and what was really kind of neat about her interaction with us, pulling it up here real quick, and we're going to end.
She remembered our names.
She did remember the names. Well, we were talking about my iPad is doing it here. We were talking about 40% in our artwork and that type of thing, and she basically was saying that 40% would be fine with the artwork, but what she liked was the new theme and the art, and it was just nice to hear from people on the guild talk about different comments. I didn't do a very good job of explaining that there with what she was talking about. We were talking about fantasy coins and different retheming of games and that type of thing, and it's just fantastic to hear from our listeners, and we would love to hear from you as well. So
go on the guild and tell them how great you think my hair is. Scale of 1 to 10. 0 to 10 on how great my hair is.
I've just noticed how clean and brushed it looked for a change.
Very nice. You need to grow one of these, Ben.
That's true. I had one until recently, but the weather's warming up here now, so.
Well, Barry, take us out. You got any closing comments?
Yeah. I'm probably going to be up till about 4 o'clock this morning chatting with Ben after everyone else is signed off. So thanks for listening, chaps and chapettes, and we'll catch you soon with the next show. When that'll be, I don't know. Music, maestro. That rhymed. Show. No. Music, maestro. Graphic.
We're so glad we had this time together. And now it's time to go. It won't be long until we have another show. So keep us in mind, get online. Berkey and Badger will be back.
In no time.